Welcome back to Division 1 Rejects. This is episode 7-0.
Wow, that's crazy.
Episode 6-9 was a good one.
One of the best.
One of the best, some would say. But this one will be a solid one, too. It's July 28th as we're recording this. Getting closer and closer to camp. We got just over a week before we report for camp up here in Northern Michigan. NFL teams, a lot of veterans reporting the last day or two. But before we get to all that stuff, we got a guest on today, Coach DeJuan Garland from... last time we had him on the podcast, he was at Ellsworth Community College. Now he's taking the head coaching job at Mount Clemens High School in Michigan.
Nice.
Kate, you were not here for that conversation, but 220 kids in that Division 8 school.
I believe it's the Wolves.
Really?
Mount Clemens Wolves.
I don't know about that one. The logo was like a little Fighting Irish type guy.
Was it?
Yeah, maybe I could have totally pulled the wrong logo.
When I used to play them in travel hockey, it was always Mount Clemens Wolves, so I just figured. But maybe I'm wrong.
Hockey could be totally different. But the NFL has been a different breed the last couple of days. And with training camp going on, a lot more headlines, a lot of things. The timetable on a lot of things gets pushed forward a lot faster because the stress and the pressure starts to build up. And finally, what did get done is a deal with DK Metcalf. He finally got extension in Seattle. We'll talk about that, how much guaranteed he got, how much money, a big old signing bonus for DK, the largest amongst wide receivers.
History.
Yep.
Seriously?
For wide receivers.
Bonus for
Wow.
receiver in NFL history.
Yeah, so that's totally
Was
huge.
that like today, like just now?
Yeah, pretty recently, last couple hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I've
so
been on my
that's-
phone in a minute.
That was big time. Otherwise, we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers and how he's the pettiest man on earth after a response to a Davante Adams quote. And also about how I myself was at Green Bay Packers training camp day one. I want to talk a lot about that and what the environment was like down there. A lot of fun. Really cool environment. They do it right. They definitely do it right down there. And I've been to Lions training camp too. You and I both have. But
Oh, did the Lions not do it right?
no, they do too. But
Well, this,
Green
was,
Bay,
this was like Jim Schwartz era. I'm talking
that's
about.
also true. Yeah, that's also
So
true.
they weren't doing it right.
No, actually,
I'm not going to say they were doing it wrong.
It might have been Jim Caldwell.
It was probably Caldwell when we were down there. Yeah.
So they probably were doing it right.
But Packers were on another level, training camp wise. It was a sweet setup they had down there. We'll talk about that. Also, according to Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers are Trey's team. That came out, yesterday?
Yeah.
So we went a little bit later to that one, but we didn't have a pod, so we got to talk about that. That's big news. They're officially moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo, which is a big news for the 49ers as they try and take the next step with a loaded roster almost at every other position. But as otherwise, you can watch this episode on YouTube per usual. Don't forget about the timestamps, the red bar at the bottom of the episode. Skip to any of those topics or listen to the whole thing. We appreciate you either way. You can listen pretty much anywhere, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it. Twitter at D1_Rejects and Instagram at Division 1 Rejects. Over 400 followers on both those platforms, I will say. We like that. That's not bad.
We ain't done yet.
Those are pretty good numbers. We'll take those. And otherwise, check out those, see highlights from the show. Let's get into that interview with Coach Garland. Joining us today, friend of the show, man who's been on the podcast a few times. He's coached in the GLIAC. He's coached at the JUCO level. Now has taken the head coaching job at Mount Clemens High School back in Michigan. Coach Garland, my man, great to have you back on the show, man.
Oh, man, good to be back. Good to be back.
What's been this move been like for you? Obviously, you were at Ellsworth last time we talked to you. It was a minute ago. A lot has gone on since then. You're engaged now. You're a new man, dude.
I know, man. A lot's been going on, man. Transition, was it wasn't bad, man. It was, a little other than a lot of moving and driving, from Iowa, it wasn't bad. Got back here in middle of January. I was actually at Harper Woods for a couple months, man, with Coach Oden. Man, that was one of the best coaches in the state, man. One of the best coaches in the state. He was awesome to work with. If one thing I learned about him, man, is culture. He's big on culture. And when I tell you, like, them guys are, everybody's on the same page, academically, athletically, weight room. That thing is running over there, man. So, I learned quite a bit from him. It was awesome just to hit the ground running, when I got back here in January. So I was fortunate and blessed to work with him.
And that's good. And, coming down, I guess, technically you'd say going down a level, right? Coming back to coach high school, even though you do get to be the head coach now, you guys got to be getting ready to gear up and hit camp here soon. What's that like ramping up and starting to feel not the pressure, but more the excitement of finally getting to get on the field with your guys?
It's exciting, man. It's we are Division 8, but that we have some athletes and we have some talent, man. And our main thing, we're just trying to flip this program and get this culture right and get these guys believing and just get them excited, man, because they haven't had much success in the past. So that's one thing. Me and my staff, we're we're going to do, man. We're going to bring some excitement and try to get some W's in that column, man.
100%. Now, talk about culture, excitement, want to be around the program. We talked at Ellsworth, and that was something that you guys, when you were there, were trying to do kind of a lot of the same things, it sounded like, when we talked, trying to talk about that culture. It's obviously tough being at a JUCO like that where you have guys for maybe only 1 or 2 years at a time. It's hard to instill a culture like that and keep that thing carrying on. I would assume that was one of the bigger challenges of being at that level and coaching at that level.
Yeah, I think that was the turnover's quick, and then, basically, in a sense, for the guys, you have to be a little selfish for the simple fact that, they're there to, go to that next level, right? Whether it be Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA. So, that's kind of tough. I think the reason why I had a little bit of success just because, I could relate to the guys, and, no matter which guy was, I took time out and, just trying to focus on them, no matter who it is, whatever the time of day. And that's what you got to do, man. You just can't kind of be like doing your own thing. You got to attend to these dudes, get these dudes going in the right direction, try to get everybody on the same page and get them to believe. And that's the main thing, man, to have fun with it at the same time. And like I said, I think that was one of the main things, reason why, I kind of had some success there. First thing I learned as coaching is just be yourself. Got to be yourself.
Yeah, that'll take you a long way, right? If you're genuine with guys, they appreciate that right off the bat. Now, I see you on Twitter all the time. You're still supporting these guys. You got guys getting chances all over, it feels like, at the next level, which is got to be awesome to see.
Yeah, man. My 3 seasons there, I had 11 guys, go Division I and Division II. One All-American. Quite a few guys made all-conference and all-region. And then, even some guys with some offers now, Ari's won and JD.
Oh, yeah.
It's just good to see them guys, man, kind of go through the process and kind of everything they put in and get rewarded by getting these offers and getting to the next level.
That's awesome. Now, talk about coming to the high school level now. Was it your goal to end up back in Michigan? Was that something you had identified like a while back, or it just kind of worked out that that a position was available when you were coming back?
Yeah, it was. No, I kind of knew I was on my way out.
Okay.
And I had like some opportunities, but it didn't fit. And my fiance, she kind of gave me the ultimatum. She was like, we basically we can't stay here, which I already knew like I was leaving.
Yeah.
But she was like, either we go somewhere else or we can go back to Michigan. So my brother, who's my assistant head coach at OC, he had twin girls, which are my nieces. So, and I didn't see him for like the first like 7 months. So that was kind of a big part to move back home. I haven't seen my family in a while. So
that's huge for sure. Now, coming back to Michigan, a little bit of familiarity, but it'll be a new chapter for you. Have you coached at the high school level before? I don't know if I asked you before. Last time you were on the pod.
Yeah. So, I actually been through Macomb County
okay,
for about like 13, 14 years. I coached a little summer everywhere.
Damn. Okay, so you've definitely been around. It was some good football too, Macomb.
Yeah. So I coached at my alma mater, Warren Fitzgerald.
Sweet.
I was there from 07 to 010 and 2008. Well, when I moved back to Michigan in 2006, one of my mentors, he took over the program and they were like on a 18, 19 game losing streak. My brother was a junior at the time, so his junior year they went 0-9. Fast forward to his senior year, we went like 5-4 and we didn't get in the playoffs. And then 2008, we were like 2 games away. We were 2 games away from Ford Field. If we would have beat Bloomfield Hills last year, we would have played Devin Gardner and Inkster. So, we kind of put that program. Then I went to Anchor Bay, Centerline, South Lake.
Yeah.
And went back to Fitz for a year. And then I was a GA at Wayne State.
Yeah. So you flip, just talk about like a flip, man. Just like that, which is sweet. Yeah. Now, like looking back on your experience at the JUCO level and at Ellsworth, I guess what's the sentiment from you, like looking back on that? I got to imagine that you're grateful for a lot of it, but what is it like from you just looking back on that experience and reflecting on it?
Oh man, I literally, I built a lot of relationships with, with the guys, man. That was, like them, man, they gave me, they motivated me to come back, man, like, and just keep grinding, because at the end of the day, we're all, trying to get out, at the end of the day. And, man, we built a lot of bonds, and that was just awesome, man. And, that was just my main thing. Like, at the end of the day, like, if my passion isn't aligning with, other people on the staff or whatever, then, it's time to move in a different direction. And that was just kind of thing, man. Like, I'm all about the kids, and, it wasn't, like I said, my stuff wasn't aligning with everybody else. So it was time for me to make a move, and
yeah,
that's why I left.
And that's, you got to make, and I imagine that wasn't an easy decision, especially for you. Like, that never is. But
right.
Like you said, all about it for the kids. I got to imagine you live vicariously through a lot of these guys that are going on to that next level, the guys that you helped get to their next destinations. You got to live basically through them and really just soak in that experience, right? I'm sure you're telling them the same exact thing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. One of my guys, he actually sent me a message yesterday, and he's at SFA, D1 in Texas, and awesome. He sent me a schedule, and I'm like, yeah, man, that's D1, man.
It's legit.
You're busy, that's what you signed up for, man. So, but no, I these guys, they call me randomly and send me messages, man. So, like, literally all my guys that, I've coached from, 19 to the end of 21, like, we still have a contact and still message me. So that's definitely good and awesome.
That's great. No, that's awesome. Now, what you talked about, you had, was it 11 or 12 guys that went to either Division I or Division II schools out of Ellsworth? Now, what in those guys, trend-wise, is there anything that, like, all those guys had in common besides your stuff? Like, obviously they had a great work ethic and, were physically talented. Was there anything that stuck out about that group that helped them really reach that next level that you could think of?
No, I think, like, the main thing was just, like, a lot of these guys were, students of the game. That was the main thing, and they always ask, what can I do to get better? But they always ask questions, and, they were big on film. That was the main thing. And they kind of took to that, man. And, like you said, like, it's not only like playing the ability or working hard. You got to do everything right. And those guys did that. They took care of their bodies. They were students of the game. They were students in the classroom. So, the reward is, you getting out and you getting a scholarship, and, they made that happen.
Now, did you talk about student of the game and, like, getting that stuff done off the field? You see Kyler Murray's new stipulation in his contract?
No, what is it?
They said that, and by the way, he's making how many millions of dollars, Ty? Like
230.
Too much, like a ton. Yeah, like 230. And in his contract, it says he's got to study where he has to have at least, quote, 4 hours of independent game study per week. Basically saying you got to go in the film room if you want to earn your 230 mil.
It's big, man. I mean, man, you watch that film and it definitely, you get an advantage, man. I don't know. You remember Jamarcus Russell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No
film. So I was going to say, they sent him home with blank tapes and he came back talking about blitz pickups and something.
Yeah. That's where I was going with that, man. But that's crazy, man. Like, come on, you getting paid all this money and you just not even taking it serious.
Because I was about to say, like, you shouldn't have to put that in the contract of an NFL quarterback. But then here you already got an example for me of why exactly you should probably do that.
Exactly.
Because dudes are cheaping out.
Well, 100%, man. Any little way to get around it, they'll find it and try it.
And then you had, like, another good one from this last year was, I guess Gronk supposedly for the Bucs and their offseason conditioning program was, like, run a bunch of sprints in different T-shirts and upload the videos on different days.
Man, they getting creative, man. They getting creative.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody just run one day in a bunch of different outfits and then just send it saying he ran.
That's awesome. But going back to your current spot at Mount Clemens, what is if anything kind of stands out as you get to be the head coach, you get to be an integral part of this program, but also, like, the head coach of any community is kind of a big part of that. So what is anything that stands out to you as being the most exciting part of this new gig for you?
Oh, man. I mean, actually, like, getting to coach with not only, like, my brother, because this is something, we talked about, like, when he was in high school, and just like the guys, like most of the guys on my staff, I coached with. So that's been awesome, man. And we have new uniforms. We got the Lions grant. So it's exciting, man. We actually got a nice weight room, man, better than some of the weight rooms I've been around. So
seriously, there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's nice, man. So it's exciting, man.
That's huge, especially for a school that you said Division 8. How many kids go to Mount Clemens? I don't know off the top of my head. I didn't do my research.
220.
220?
Yep.
Sounds like one of these UP schools up here, man.
Oh yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, you're gonna have your hands full for sure. Trying to, like you said, you got athletes, which is a good start. All you need is a few, especially at that level, to really get a team to where you want to go, make a deep run.
Oh yeah, we have two of our guys, man. They're in they're in Junior Olympics, man. So we haven't really seen them. They come around. They haven't done any football stuff just because they're getting ready for Junior Olympics, man. And,
are you serious? Is this track or what?
Yep,
for?
track. Yep, track.
That is huge.
Yeah. So,
dude, that is awesome. What events are they running?
I think one of them is doing the decathlon. The other one is on I want to say he's doing like the 400 or 800. One of the two.
That is odd. I would have not expected that. We had one junior Olympian in my high school that I was with, and she was a freak athlete. Especially the decathlon is nuts. I forget exactly what that entails, but I know it's a bunch of different events. Correct?
Yeah. One of my guys, he's like, man, coach, he's like, I haven't had the chance to pole vault, so I'm literally going to drive down there, and I got to like practice like before I do it. So. But no, like Mount Clemens, man, they have probably one of the best coaches in the state, man. Coach Wallace, man, he's awesome. He's one of the best track coaches in the state, man. He gets a lot out of the kids, man. They work hard, and definitely see the results.
I mean, yeah, Junior Olympics is no joke. That's awesome. Now, that kind of brings me to the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is that you come from the JUCO where for a lot of these kids, it's their last chance and their dream is to go play at the next level, right? That's all that their attention is hyper-focused on. Now you're at a high school of 220 kids, and I'd imagine the greater deal of your football team does not have Division I or NFL aspirations. So that's got to be a different ballgame entirely.
Yeah, a couple of them, they do want to play at the college level.
And that's great, yeah.
So, we're going to do everything, we can to promote these guys and, just trying to like build that in them, like as far as like being a student athlete, so that's what we're going to try to do, man. Yeah,
that's good stuff. And I mean, you got some pretty notable Michigan ties too, which should definitely help them out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Even, at the JUCO level and like you said, the Michigan level, GLIAC, D3, NAIA. So, it's definitely exciting, man. I pretty much reached out to a few guys, and some people reached out to me, man. So it's definitely been an easy transition.
Good stuff. Now, are you teaching in the building or anything, or just strictly football over there?
Yeah. So I'll be in the building this fall. I'll be doing like the climate control, kind of like head overall security. So
got you. Hey,
definitely excited about that.
Late days.
I was gonna say I wouldn't be. You can catch me trying to get in there. I'm smarter than that, all right? I got a good head on my shoulders, man.
I'm gonna ask you come down here, Kobe, man, but what you here for? We need to see.
we had a little lady that would sit behind the front desk and like politely ask, "You walking into this school? Ain't no little lady at the front desk."
Yeah, ain't no little lady.
No, you're gonna get a 6'2", 300+ bald-headed guy with a beard.
That's awesome though, man. I love that. I'm excited for you, excited for the move, excited for big things going on for you. Hopefully you get that date for the wedding set up soon. And I hope to see you, more importantly, walking down the tunnel at Ford Field sometime in the next couple of years, man.
Man, that's the goal, man. Like me and my brother talked, a while back, man. I always said I wanted to be, the first African American coach in Macomb County to win a state title, man. So now's the time to start pushing for that, man.
100%. It's attainable, man. You're the man to do it.
Well, 100%. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. That's really all I had for you today. I just wanted to talk about your move and kind of how things were going. Anything else before we let you go?
No, man. I appreciate it, man. I love what you guys are doing, man. Keep grinding, and keep building this thing up, man. You guys got something good going on, and I love watching the episodes. I love the guys you have on, man. Just keep grinding away at it.
I appreciate you, Coach.
Hey,
I'll definitely be in touch, man. It's good catching up.
All right, likewise, man. Have a good one.
All right, we'll see you. Good talk with Coach Garland. Good to catch up with him, and I definitely want to have more guys from the JUCO scene on the podcast. I think that's an interesting perspective, and I need to get like some good variety too. We've had Coach Garland and Arion from Ellsworth out in Iowa. I forget, Iowa Falls, maybe Iowa, but we got to get some more variety there. So I don't know if you guys got some connections. We need to work on that for sure. You might, Ty.
JUCO?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some JUCO homies.
Let's get some JUCO homies on here. I would love to talk to them, but
some JUCO homies.
two guys that may or may not be homies in the NFL. That's Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. We know they are homies, but people have been going nuts over a quote from Davante Adams when asked about making the switch from Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr, excuse me, and whose balls he'll be catching out of off the line of scrimmage. He has this quote, and we'll listen to it here in just a second. He makes it sound like he's calling Derek Carr a Hall of Famer. And people took this quote, I think, the wrong way. He also came on to clarify. We'll watch that video in a second here, too. But I'm going to just air this video and let that kind of speak for itself. In I guess the context for this video is that Davante is being asked about the change from Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr and what that has been like for him thus far.
This shift like from that passer to Derek Carr, and then, just your acclimation too.
I mean, anytime you change quarterbacks from, a Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, you go, Stabler to Rich Gannon or whoever you go to, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. And, both are great players and great to be around. So I'm just enjoying that process and getting better myself, trying to do as much as I can to help these guys go out there and win as many games as we can.
This shift like from
and
that.
So you can see kind of her reaction immediately. Like
she's like, pause.
Dude, as soon as he says that, it comes out of his mouth going from one Hall of Famer to another. And she look at the camera like this.
What did that boy just say?
Dude,
wait, y'all don't think Derek Carr Hall of Famer? No, just
come on.
I know Tyler was not about to say that.
I know, dude. But you could tell, like, as soon as I don't want to play that again, but as soon as he said that too, she knew that she had her headline.
Yeah,
like,
she had a story. It was over with. She had a story.
She was so excited immediately that look at the camera was like, I know this is going to be trending on Twitter for the next who knows however many days. And then that prompted this whole internet thing about Davante Adams. He thinks Derek Carr is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and it was just an unwarranted conversation, and he also had to come back and clear it up. I've got that video pulled up too, so we can see Davante's explanation as to what he was thinking with that remark, and he cleared it up at a presser at training camp
as well. And being a rapper is very vital. I say you got to have the bars. Obviously, you got to have the bars. You got to have the lines. Got to be there. But a very, very vital and critical piece of being a rapper is the delivery, right? I wasn't a great rapper the other day. What I'm not going to do is take away from that statement, because why is Derek not a Hall of Famer, But what I meant, I left one key word out of there because that's not exactly what I meant, but I do think that Derek's career is Hall of Fame worthy, and why not? I mean, people can say that about this guy, that guy. What I would say is, does he have the MVPs right now? No. Has he won a Super Bowl? Not yet. No. That's obviously what we're chasing. But what I meant to say was, even if you go even Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, it's an adjustment. I meant, like, even if it is Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, there's going to be an adjustment. I wasn't saying Hall of Famer Aaron to Hall of Famer Derek. So
that's kind
of
all
not
you
retracting
need to hear about it, but you get the main gist of what he's talking about.
I mean, I guess I kind of like it's a reach.
Yeah,
it's a reach for sure.
It is 100% a reach. And it's just interesting. Like, I just don't get it, man. It's like, do you think he meant that in the moment? Is that exactly what he thought, or is? Yeah, I think it might have been the other way around.
I'm pleased to hear this. I'm excited.
No, we'll get to that in a second. I wanted to talk about it a little more, though. So to clarify for those who didn't quite understand what he was saying, he was trying to say that in the situation, like, even if he were, which when he says that, he implies that Derek Carr is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah. Even if he were going from a Hall of Famer to a Hall of Famer, you'd make an adjustment.
After he just said, why not?
Yeah, after he just said, why isn't Derek Carr? And then he labeled the reasons why he's not a Hall of Famer. Does he have the MVPs yet?
No.
It's like, has he won a Super Bowl? Well, not yet.
Not yet.
I don't understand. So we'll go now. Finally, to end this trio of videos that we're watching here, we'll go
hold on. Before we go,
what's that?
Derek Carr only got about 1,700 less yards than Troy Aikman, and Troy Aikman a Hall of Famer, and he got like a lot more touchdowns than Troy Aikman.
You said 1,700, like 1,700?
No, he's 1,700 behind.
That's what I'm
Troy
saying.
Aikman.
Oh, like only that much? That's
How
not.
old is Derek
That's
Carr?
not a lot.
34? 33?
Derek Carr
35?
is born 1991.
So
Fam's like 31.
Damn.
No, he'd be 34.
He's 30. No,
It's
he's not.
2022, Kobe.
It's 31.
Yeah.
1991.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
As you can see, I'm the brains of the family.
So, okay, maybe the Hall of Fame conversation isn't so
It ain't dead.
It's not.
No.
But it's not.
It's like
still
Matt
not there.
Stafford. It's like Matt Stafford. If he get a ring, he'll be exactly what Matt Stafford is.
Okay, yeah.
Is Derek Carr a Hall of Famer? You know what
I think that's pretty fair.
Anyways, the last of the 3 videos we'll react to is from yesterday at Packers Day 1 of training camp from Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, Davante's former quarterback. And right at the beginning of this clip, you'll see that he pokes a little bit of fun at that first comment from Davante about Derek Carr.
And it's always tough going from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer. You know, from Davante to Allen, it's going to be, you know, a transition. But he's capable of a lot. And the way things have gone with the reps and the guys that we've had here and the targets that we've you know, doled out, he hasn't had a ton of opportunities. But he's since his first day here, he's turned heads, and so it's not surprising him to go out and have a really consistent day today. But he's been working hard. He has a lot to prove, I think, to himself.
So you kind of get that. He was talking about, right there, obviously talking about Allen Lazard, the new wide receiver 1 in Green Bay. And let me tell you, from being there yesterday, that was like all the news. Like everyone wanted to talk to Allen Lazard and see what was going through his head. Everyone was asking about Davante. Everyone was asking about Aaron. Someone were asking about this drama as well. So that's kind of interesting. But just like, I don't know. Aaron's just a petty dude. And I feel like you see how smug he looked after he said that too?
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
He knew exactly.
And you'd have to think. You'd have to also think there might be a little communication there between Davante and Aaron, because there's no way they're just not talking. We know
there has to be.
Know
I
what
feel like
Like,
they're on that level for sure.
You could definitely see a text like, "Hey, I'm not trying to diss you." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
if he's gonna come out and clarify his statement in front of the
Right,
press, you know,
yeah,
he had to shoot him a text like in between that.
So maybe Aaron's just like, "Hey, I'm just, you know what I mean, just fuel the fire." But
Aaron Rodgers is much more sick trying to replace Davante Adams than Davante Adams is trying to replace Aaron Rodgers.
I would 100% agree with that.
All you need is someone to throw you the ball.
Derek Carr won't make like the wild throws, but Derek Carr is a pretty good NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
He is pretty good.
Top 12.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that statement. Yeah.
I'm a big Derek Carr guy. I thought he had a great year last year.
I think Derek Carr nice. Allen Lazard, on the other hand, yeah, all right.
I don't think he's wide receiver 1.
Let me tell
Not at
you,
all.
he looked good yesterday, and I don't know if he's going to be. You know, it's training day 1 of training camp. You got helmets on. It don't really matter. But you walk into that locker room yesterday, there may have been 50 people around Aaron Rodgers' locker. It was ridiculous. And I was telling Cade, too, it almost was the same with Lazard. I was one of the first guys to get over there and get a mic over there and start to – but there were probably 10 to 15 guys that had already beat me down there that had sprinted down from the field to, like, stand watch at Allen Lazard's locker. It was so ridiculous. The dude gets up, goes over and showers, comes back, and, like, I don't know. This is totally normal probably, but just to me it was like a culture shock for these, like, a larger market reporter. They don't give the dude any space. Between you and Cade there, that space was less space than Lazard had trying to change and put on his T-shirt and, like, lotion up and stuff than these reporters gave him. He turned around to, like, grab something, bumped into a reporter. And they were like, the dude is, like, half-dressed, trying to put, like, lotion on his hands and, like, knees and stuff. And they're turning their lights on. They got mics in his face already. He finally stood up and was like, all right. And they just bombarded the dude.
Really?
It was ridiculous.
Like
everyone
a flock
talking
of
about
seagulls, dude.
Dude, it was unreal. And I'm like elbowing, trying to get my way in. People got like, they have like the little 2-step step ladders, right? They got cameramen up on the 2-step step ladders all around in a half circle with all the reporters in front with extendos on the microphones trying to peek through. He might have had 20 microphones in his face yesterday, and one of them was mine.
That comes with being wide receiver 1, though, too. You know,
100%.
like that's another
Not necessarily.
thing. No, think about it.
Right now it does because it's new.
Yeah.
Right now it does because it's new,
It's
but
not
not
like Christian
always.
Watson had 50 guys in his face.
Christian Watson was not
Exactly.
active. Christian Watson was not active yesterday. Wait, you don't know who it is?
No, I do know who Christian Watson is. But he said Christian Watson like that's just some world breaker. Christian Watson?
But like that's what I'm saying. Like,
He's a second-round pick.
He's no world breaker.
No, you're right. Not yet.
I don't even believe in
neither is
Christian Watson.
Lazard.
That's
Lazard
what I'm
could be.
That's what I'm saying. It's just because of what it is right now.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's what
Oh,
it comes
When he
to.
finished the year next year with like 800 yards,
Yeah,
then it's gonna be we got to get Aaron Rodgers some more help. Aaron Rodgers gonna retire.
His ass gone.
he might. Lazard finished last year with a little over 500 yards and 8 touchdowns. Obviously with Davante on the team, so he wasn't option number one. But also,
No, when you got somebody like Davante Adams on
It
your
should
team,
make your
you're
job
supposed
easier.
to be eating.
yeah,
There's no way you only get. You know what I'm saying? He's just limited.
yeah.
He's not a good route runner. He really not that great of a deep threat.
He has good. I will say in his defense, he's got good ball skills
Is he
when the
fast?
ball is in the air, and
No.
he's not incredibly like point A to point B fast, but he's got length, and that's why I think they really like. That's why he always gets associated with a deep ball threat. I think because he has the length for like a 50-50 ball, like they always said, like with Calvin is really like a 70-30. Like
80-20.
that's what
He was
yeah.
a real good jump ball guy in college, like at
Yeah.
Iowa State. And then I really didn't see why he went so low in the draft. I'm like, I thought he was a killer. I thought he was one of the best receivers.
100%. And he actually went back to Iowa State this summer to do his off-season conditioning program. We talked a lot about that yesterday.
When you grow up and you actually learn football, you just see he's limited. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't know.
I mean, I'm not here telling you the Packers have a great wide receiving core right now.
No.
'Cause
Oh,
that
no,
was
they don't.
that
Not
was
at
the
all.
reason a lot of people were
Probably
hustling
the worst
over
in
there.
the NFC North. Actually, the Bears. The Bears.
No, I can merge. The Packers have. Who would you rather have, Darnell Mooney or Alan Lazard?
Mooney. But think about the Bears have Velus Jones as like their wide receiver.
I actually don't know who that is.
Velus Jones ran like a 4.3. He's a rookie.
Okay.
He's a rookie.
Where from?
Tennessee. He ran like a 4.3.
And Byron Pringle as their wide receiver. Too.
Byron Pringle was
Now-
decent for the Chiefs.
The story I already told you guys, but I'll say it on here again too, is that literally everyone and their brother was with Lazard, and
Yeah.
the locker mate next to him was Randall Cobb, and no one was really talking to Cobb for some reason. He was just kind of sitting there like doing his thing. So I get out of this little scrum and I walk around the corner, and Cobb was sitting there with nobody talking to him. Everyone had backs turned, and I walked up to him and I literally just told him, I said, "Ain't nobody want to talk to you, huh?" And he looked at me and he said, "Nah, I guess I'm just washed. They don't even want to talk to me." Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's what he
dude.
said.
That's like a once in a lifetime thing. Like,
It was pretty sweet. And so I was like, well, you mind if I ask you a couple questions? He said, "Nah, go for it." He stood up, and then once people saw that he stood up and he was talking to me, I had like 2 or 3 other reporters kind of snake their way in. But
You're a leader, Kobe.
It was a pretty cool experience. Like I was guiding the conversation and like asking him questions about, I wanted to talk a lot about Sammy Watkins, their new addition, because that was the locker right next to him. Now Sammy is not active right now. He was on the PUP list, so he was not active for training camp. But I want to talk a lot about that because he's a veteran that was it Baltimore most recently?
Yeah, he was with Baltimore last year.
he ain't got nothing
Yeah.
to prove. I don't think.
Well, he's on. I would say he's in the back half. But he's on like the back quarter of his career, and he still produces. Like he still produces a bit, and he's going to be really big for them and critical for their wide receiver room. That's going to be relatively young in
like
Green Bay.
Randall Cobb, yeah.
But I wanted to talk a lot about that, and I told you, Randall Cobb's eyes are scary.
Yeah, and I asked you because you see him like pictures of him. It's like his colors are. It's like weird. It's like green and blue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a very light green, and when he looked me in the eyes the first time, I was like taken aback from it. I don't know. I don't feel a certain type of way most of the time about that stuff. Dude, I didn't know what to think.
He was breathtaking.
No, that's not what I'm saying, bro. It was like intimidating. Dude,
Yeah.
hold eye contact like crazy. Like some guys are just like that.
How tall is he?
Not very.
Like 5'11".
Yeah, he was like a couple inches taller than me. I remember that, but I wasn't looking up to dude like that. But then the other guy I got to talk to was I went across the other side of the locker room. Another dude not getting a lot of love was Jordan Love was not getting a lot of love, and so I went over and talked to him for a little bit. But like I said, Aaron, his locker was nuts, and Lazard was a little less nuts. But those two, other than that, I think 80% of those guys couldn't give a shit about who else was in the locker room.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I feel bad because I'm blanking on the name right now, but the receiver from Ferris got picked up by Green Bay in free agency, Malik Taylor. And I didn't even know that, or else I would have totally gone over to him and made a story about that because that would have been awesome. I didn't even know he got picked up until after when I came back and I was talking to Edge to I think like Day or something.
Yeah.
But that would have been awesome. That would have been a really cool story.
Sick. Yeah, that'd been sick.
So might have to hit him up for a podcast opportunity if he'd be willing. That would be awesome. But otherwise. Another receiver that I want to talk about today was DK Metcalf. He finally got the deal done in Seattle. We've seen Terry McLaurin got a deal. Well, And then A.J. Brown got paid. We've seen a bunch of other wide receivers. Tyreek, after this Christian Kirk market just kind of exploded, the Christian Kirk wide receiver market, and he was kind of the catalyst in that. But the deal for DK is worth $72 million over 3 years with over 58 guaranteed of that. And like Ty said earlier, he's got the biggest signing bonus ever for a wide receiver with $30 million upon signing. So is that the biggest advantage of that? Is just avoiding a cap hit? Is that exactly what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Because
I think it's just ways to go ahead, Ty.
They like, all right. So say, Kobe, we give you 4 years, $16 million,
Okay.
and then
I
you
like where
feel
this is
me?
going.
Your signing bonus is $6 million. We want to take off some of the cap hit. We'll make the rest of your money a signing bonus. You know what I'm saying, on your contract. So then basically we paying you close to nothing as far as game checks because we just gave it to you all up front.
Yeah.
So what was it? 3 years, $72 million. So it's really 3 years, 42.
42. As far as what his actual game, like by game salary will be, for sure.
That's all it is.
It's interesting.
Avoiding the cap hit.
I feel like they always find ways to kind of get around.
The salary cap gymnastics.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good way to put
The
it.
Saints maneuvered it for years.
Yeah, they 100% did. And then you know what happened to him?
It caught up to
It
him.
caught up to him. And Sean Payton got the hell out of Dodge when that happened.
But did it really, though? Because they got better this offseason.
True.
Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, Jarvis Landry.
Dude, I'm excited for the Saints.
Olave?
Man.
Yeah, they drafted Olave.
I know, but
Michael
I'm just saying,
Thomas is
you
back.
got to pay him still, even if it's a rookie contract.
You see Michael Thomas tweeted the other day? He was like, your favorite fantasy football something was wrong again, like hashtag unfollow. He's talking about
Was it some ranking or something?
no, so people were saying, I can't remember who it was. Who's the guy that does all the fantasy? Is it
Not Field.
no, it's it's not Rappaport.
Not
No.
Ian, no.
Schefter maybe? I don't know.
No, it
but
ain't
he was-
Schefter. You talk about the dude that just retired from ESPN.
Yeah.
He be with Phil Yates.
Oh, is it Mark Schlereth?
Yeah.
that
No,
the-
Yeah.
no. Not Mark Schlereth. Bro, I'm blanking on his name, bro. I gotta go on my fantasy football.
Yeah.
app.
You go
Anyway,
for it.
he
It's the
said-
ball dude, bro. You know who I'm talking about. The ball dude.
Not.
He be with Phil Yates. He be doing the fantasy football with him.
I don't know it. I'm not. No one's
Older
coming
guy,
right
right?
now.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, but
Regardless, he was
Yeah.
he was saying that Michael Thomas wasn't going to be back for training camp and he wasn't going to be ready and this and that.
So he
And
proved
then-
him wrong.
And then he came out and was there day one.
Mm.
So he was like, your favorite football fantasy father or whatever is wrong again. Hashtag unfollow. Like, nice.
that's
dude.
hilarious. But Pete Carroll got asked about the contract, obviously, and he said, "quote It's really important to us. We love him. He maybe will go down as one of the great draft picks we've ever had here. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that he's happy and that he wants to be in Seattle." And actually, DK, because there's a lot of rumors about him going to other places, right? There were some jokes about Kansas City, someone said the door's open in Kansas City.
And he said, shut it.
You better close that bitch. I don't know, but
We got Juju.
yeah, there were a lot of rumors that he wanted to leave after obviously losing veteran quarterback Russell Wilson, who we'll talk about a little bit later. But he actually has come out to the defense of Drew Lock a few times on Twitter. Drew Lock's been catching hate from everyone. Literally everyone.
Literally, even the freaking U.S. Open tennis.
Yep.
they're
who
even throwing
clapped back
shots at
on
him.
Twitter.
Yeah.
And even DK actually responded to that tweet and was basically like, lay off the dude, give him a break type of deal. So he has come to his defense publicly a couple times, and
I see a little bit of Tua and Tyreek there. With DK and,
you cannot even relate
No,
that.
no. I'm saying how DK's coming up and sticking up for his guy.
Okay.
Because
Next thing you know,
obviously
next
Tyreek
week-
doesn't think that Tua's better than Mahomes.
Next week he's going to say that Drew Lock's the best quarterback in the NFL, most accurate quarterback in the NFL.
Geno Smith is currently QB1 for the Seahawks.
You think?
No way.
You think, Ty?
They say he's literally taking all the starter reps.
Has he?
Pete Carroll has come out and said that Geno Smith is the lead guy, but he doesn't expect Drew Lock to take a back seat.
Interesting.
You can look it up if you want to.
I'd
I
like
only
to see
come with
Drew Lock
facts.
make a little noise this season, man. I like Drew Lock.
Everything went downhill after that video of him dancing on the sideline to, was it Dreams and Nightmares or something?
I don't know. No, it wasn't.
No, that was
Drew
the
Lock.
Eagles. That was the Eagles.
It was
It was
some
a
like
cheesy song.
yeah.
it was.
He's in the bench
Broncos,
rapping it word
yep.
for word. Everyone's like, "This dude's the best. I love Drew Lock," and then he gets
Yeah.
sat 2 weeks later.
His stock went up so high after that video and
Yeah.
then just plummeted immediately after.
Yeah.
But
could you not like him?
the guy that I wanted to talk about too, as far as this concerns in the wide receiver market, is Deebo Samuel. We talked about, Ty, you and I were talking about before we started the pod about some of the guys in a very similar situation. Derwin James, one of those guys, and who was the third you were talking about?
Deebo Samuel, Derwin James,
DK Metcalf,
and it was
he's
DK.
good.
Oh, it was DK until now he's got
That
that
is
deal
insane.
done. But now, not AJ Brown, Deebo Samuel and Derwin James are two of the guys now that are holding out. Might be the wrong word, but they're not participating in training camp right now. And Deebo is going to be the one. What's that?
Matthew Berry.
Matt Berry.
yeah.
Okay, Matt Berry.
I could not think of his name,
That's the
bro.
right dude.
That's exactly
Matt
what it
Berry.
was.
Thank you for doing that.
I can sleep at night now.
Put your mind at ease.
I could go to bed tonight.
That's funny. But now you look at, like I was saying earlier, Terry McLaurin got a deal. DK just now got a deal. AJ Brown got paid. All these wide receivers are getting paid. And Deebo just wants to be a part of that.
Yep.
Right? Like it seems like now has to be the time, especially going into the year that it could be for him, as far as a prove-it year on his contract right now, coming off what is still his rookie contract, I believe.
Yep.
So I want to say his rookie contract was like $7 million. It was very low.
When
It's
is it-
very
when
low.
is it
So he
too
was like,
late?
I think
That's
he was
the
like a
thing.
third-round pick.
Yeah. Out of South Carolina.
Yeah.
So I believe it was around $7 million total in his rookie contract. Now, that is a huge reason why you need to get guaranteed money for him, because he knows his worth and he's worth a lot more than that. And Shanahan obviously totally agrees with that. But right now, as it stands in training camp wise, he's off to the side basically doing his own thing is what it talks about. So they called him a, quote, wide back in this article. And it just sounds
He don't
goofy.
like that, bro.
No, he does not. And I
doesn't?
will say, when talking with Shanahan, he says, quote, I just had a good talk with Deebo. We all know there's a lot going on with Deebo right now in his representation in Torrey, with Parag and John. They're talking nonstop right now. We'll see what happens. He says he's going to go out there and condition on the side. We'll see where he's at. Hopefully we can figure something out soon, but we're in a good place for today. And he also went on to say later on that I had a good discussion with him and we're on the exact same page as far as what his role in the offense is going to be. So it sounds like, and it has been, I don't think it's ever been a deal of him wanting to be in San Francisco, right? It's always just been
Yeah.
about getting the money that he feels he deserved, especially after the year he had last
He
year.
want the money, and he don't want to play running back
He was their best player.
because
Yeah.
he said he want to preserve his career. He don't want to take as many hits.
Yeah,
So I
so
feel
for him to call him a wide back in this article is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
But it's
like
a
that's
headline.
what he does
But
not
like
like.
every now and then, like you
But also
can't not
Shanahan
give him the ball.
Yeah, but also
Right?
Shanahan didn't write this article, so like who
Right,
cares?
yeah.
But
He don't care about, you feel me? Everybody want the ball,
yeah,
but lining them up at running back and giving him
I agree.
ISOs,
Yeah.
that's what you got a running back for.
I know. Like that's literally
Elijah Mitchell ran for like 1,000 yards last
like
year.
he's
raw,
not a
bro.
sorry, but he's good. He's
Like
a
they
good
have
back.
good backs, so I can see why he's frustrated. Like, what do y'all? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
That's like us. Okay, showed us he could play corner. One play, let's just keep throwing him at corner. And we got serviceable corners. And when you're a much better safety than you're a corner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It just don't make sense.
It's interesting, and the image of like the 49ers holding camp and having their whole team doing like their team periods and stuff on one field, and you look over and Deebo is just like doing drills and like maybe like catching balls off a judge machine.
I feel like people like us, like that we know football and shit. Like we always talk about casual football fans. You know, they're like, well, why wouldn't you line him up back there? Like you saw what he did last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people are gonna be like that.
Well, because football players are people, and they
Right.
want to have a career and they want to have guaranteed money, so their people can make it.
Yeah, but it's like
big.
But like Deebo knows, like he plays wide receiver. He'll have another year or two to his career. You know what I mean? Like
or
he's
3 or 4.
Yeah. Depending on being injury prone or whatever. You know what I mean? Knock on wood, he stays healthy.
Yeah,
Wherever it
100%.
was.
So I don't know. That'll be interesting as far as speculating what type of deal he gets done.
Be interesting.
It'll be really interesting because now you have the blueprint from so many other deals. Now, as your agents and your representation, you can go through and see pitching to the 49ers, okay, you're going to pay me this much. That means you value me more than X, Y, and Z, but you value me less than A, B, and C, right? So, like, how do you fit into that and how much do the 49ers value?
Yeah.
I think that makes it so that the longer this goes on, you would think, okay, they got to get a deal done. It might make it actually more complicated the more deals that get done because then all you're going to do is compare.
Exactly.
I
Back
was
and
gonna
forth.
say, to me, I feel like you can't look at somebody else's deal and say, well, they paid them this. Because their cap situation is
Very different. Yeah.
Like,
And
who
those
got
teams-
the biggest extension this offseason? Like, was it A.J. Brown? Maybe?
Potentially.
Who did the Eagles have to pay?
Good point.
Other than, like, Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts will get nothing close to $150 million.
Darius
And-
Slay.
Even
Darius
when you
Slay's
look at
30-something. He can't get no max. He's like 32 now.
it does
What is he
happen a
getting paid
lot
right now?
though.
Like
Decent money.
nothing crazy.
He won't get no crazy extension.
No, yeah.
It does happen a lot, though, when you talk about comparing deals. And we talked about Kyler Murray's deal, not even noticing, by the way, that his deal was worth $230.5 million.
Who?
Kyler Murray, remember?
Yeah, 230.
0.5, though. That 0.5 is important because you know whose deal was worth 230?
Mahomes.
Deshaun Watson was worth $230 million exactly. So, I mean,
I didn't even realize that, dude.
I didn't. The first read over, I did not. And I remember I saw the number again, and I was like, man, that 0.5 is interesting. And I looked into it. I'm like, that really is 0.5 more than Deshaun Watson. So you know that happens. Like, little shit like that happens every single day in the NFL and every single day in negotiations. That, I'm
Lamar
assuming, is the biggest
holdup.
holdup.
233.
He might. And he might just break that market. Now, then the question becomes how many years and what's guaranteed, because that's
Lifetime.
the Deshaun thing. Yeah.
Because what Mahomes got $500 million and only like, what, 250 is guaranteed?
Wasn't he 12 years?
10.
10?
So it's technically a $250 million deal.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He'll never see that $500 million.
You don't think?
Nah, bro. The Chiefs ain't that dumb.
Gonna give him $500 million.
I feel like that's gonna be the thing now, is just giving out fully guaranteed deals. So because it just make it look pretty.
Yeah.
We saw it was like $500 million. Oh my God. $250 million guaranteed. They'll probably get an additional $60 million out of that. So maybe 310.
310?
Nothing
Jimmy
close to
understands.
500.
That's the final?
Half a bill.
You know what I'm saying?
And that contract broke the internet, too, was the crazy part.
That was insane.
A man who has definitely not broken the internet as far as contracts are concerned, but did make some big news just yesterday over in the 49ers camp. We'll keep talking about the 49ers. We were talking about Deebo. Is Trey Lance. Fall camp starting. Coaches are holding pressers all over the country. They're in front of microphones for the first time. Kyle Shanahan made some pretty big claims, and he made them like, you know, he did a very good job of being very monotone about it. Like, everyone should have just expected this coming, which a lot of people, I think, did. They saw the writing on the wall. But he basically has, you know, told reporters, and I'll have the video here pull up in a second, that the team has officially moved on from Jimmy Garoppolo and that the team is now in the hands of second-year quarterback out of NDSU, Trey Lance. So we'll run that video with Shanahan here.
That's where we're at. We understand where we're at. Like, I can't tell you how appreciative I have been of Jimmy and him being here, and so appreciative of what he did for us last year. I think Jimmy, and we knew what move we made the year before on that. Jimmy did a hell of a job coming to camp and winning that job and taking us real close to the Super Bowl. But we have moved on to Trey. We're starting camp out this way. We think Jimmy would have been traded if the surgery didn't happen, and it did. He needed to do it, so there's no ill will there at all. But it's good to see that he is healthy. But now it's all just seeing how this will end up. You know, Jimmy understands where
So
we're at.
I mean, that's about it from Shanahan. But he made it very short and sweet. He didn't make too big of a deal about it. For something that is obviously a huge part of any franchise, like, that is a big deal. That is a huge deal.
So what for Jimmy G now?
That's the question. And he was talking about like being healthy, like it's a good thing, whatever, and like,
Because it's not like he was bad last year.
no, but like that term game manager gets thrown around a lot with those type of quarterbacks.
I
Where
could-
does he
I
go?
honestly could see
like,
him-
what team is a serviceable quarterback away from? Maybe
That's the
only
thing.
team that I could have thought of was the Commanders, but now they got Carson Wentz.
If
And
I
that's the thing
if I
too
really
with this
think about
market.
it,
With this market, we were talking the same thing with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Like, where does Baker go? He's in a very similar situation that Baker was in, and Baker got his deal done.
this is weird. I have a weird feeling that Jimmy G goes back up Brady in the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, he's from the Brady tree. I guess you're gonna call it a Brady tree, but he was with him in New England, so maybe that's not that unrealistic. Who else is on the Bucks right now? Obviously, they have Kyle Trask, right?
Yeah.
But there's also
Like
someone else.
when he retired, Blaine Gabbert.
Blaine Gabbert is
You
the other
don't
one.
want Blaine Gabbert to start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he could
I don't know. Maybe
the
there's
Steelers,
nowhere to go,
The
bro.
Steelers?
They just drafted Kenny Pickett. They're not
Yeah,
gonna
but-
trade for a quarterback to.
but they're gonna have Trubisky start.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Trey Lance is 22 years old, by the way, which is crazy.
That's crazy, man.
It's absolutely unreal.
I like Trey Lance.
He's
He can-
like
he can
less
be
than a
all
year
right.
older than myself.
I'm not a Trey Lance believer.
You're not a Trey Lance guy.
No,
Why is
I'm
that?
not-
A lot
I'm
of
not
people
sold on
are.
him. I'm not so. I watched him throw a football. Like, it's not pretty. It's not pretty, and you know what's crazy?
what?
He can't throw a spiral.
Shut up.
Like that ass.
I ain't gonna say he can't throw a spiral, but his throws are
I
ugly
was
though.
gonna say, what are you talking about? We throw a spiral.
No, like real shit.
know what
though.
you mean.
Like
Oh,
some
yeah.
throws, they are literally wobblers. Like he threw a pass in the preseason last year that everybody went crazy for, and it was a duck. It was a duck. He just got bailed out by a fast man. It was a duck. You know.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. But he did say that, quote, mentally the biggest thing, he says, I'm light years ahead of where I was last year. That's what he told NFL Network. He said, this is what Trey Lance is saying. Last year, I knew what was going on, but this year I could actually pay attention a lot more to defense, pay attention to fronts, defensive structures, and all that. I'm learning a whole lot, and I'm able to kind of know what's going on. That's what he said. He's light years ahead from last year, Ty. So maybe you need to jump on the train now.
I mean, if he said it, I mean, obviously it's true.
Yeah, obviously it's true. What is he going to go on there and say? Be like, I feel like shit, guys. I'm not ready to lead this franchise.
Yeah, you know what? Last
he's
year,
not. That's why Jimmy Garoppolo is still on the team, because they'd have just cut him.
You're right, though. What happens when Trey Lance goes out there and shits the bed? I mean, you got to back Jimmy G.
It's over with. Jimmy G's not going to want to play for them anymore. And if Trey Lance, like, the team, like, the Niners players like Jimmy G.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good
So
things.
if Trey Lance go out there and fuck it up,
they're gonna be on the other side very quickly. Like, what are y'all doing?
It's a good take.
100%.
If they start out 1-3, they'll finish 4-13.
It's gonna be tough. This is even better quote from Lance. It's not a direct quote. It's paraphrased in this article that I'm reading, but it says here, Lance said he's run into Garoppolo in the training facility a few times this offseason, and that despite the two competing for the same spot last year, he said they're still on great terms, and he hopes the best for his teammate. How the fuck do you run into a guy a few times in the building during the offseason? You're the two quarterbacks in the franchise. You don't got quarterback meetings?
That's
No, not in the offseason.
Still.
I mean,
You gotta have
technically,
something.
but
must be a big ass
ain't.
facility.
Yeah.
But what's the calling was just rehabbing the whole summer though.
Jimmy was from
Garoppolo.
shoulder surgery. That's true. So it makes it a little more believable.
Yeah.
But like when you say a couple times, you feel like over that whole span, that means to me that he's seen him as many times as you can count on one hand.
No,
That's kind of ridiculous to me to say that.
Some people couple be different.
Really?
He probably saw him twice a week, and he'd be like, I saw him a couple times. I don't know. And you also got to think, how often is he going to the facility?
True. That's a good point too.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It ain't
A lot of guys do their own
First
shit.
of all, I
you know?
think that
back in their hometown or whatever.
Yeah. No, that's very true. That's what I was talking about. Like, who was it? We were talking about Lazard going back and
Iowa
doing
State,
his thing there. But
Oh, great.
if we want to talk about the facility, do we want to go? We're talking about Russell Wilson here. Do we want to see his picture of him rolling up to the facility first? Why don't we take a look at that, huh?
This is the first time I've seen somebody wear their own jersey.
And not be a joke.
Like that's that's my fit on Friday.
This
when we
is
got a high
how
school
Russell
game.
Wilson pulled up to the
Friday high school games.
But he ain't got the hoodie on. I'd have had my hoodie on underneath.
Yeah. That's funny, dude.
This is how Russell Wilson pulled up to Broncos country
What the hell is he driving?
the other day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know, but that thing looks
Fucking
like it can
tank.
make through an apocalypse.
It's like a freaking army truck.
They may have a zombie problem in Mile High.
If he didn't rent that, he's an absolute dumbass.
What is he paying for gas?
He rented that bitch out for training camp.
Like, you don't need that.
Drive a regular car, bro.
There's nobody that, like, yeah, we got to get Russell Wilson ass gone. Like, there's nobody running around like that.
Like somebody's after him, you mean? That's great. Now, here is the presser, another just absolutely peak quote from Russell when I guess he was just talking about his attitude and basically his attitude as far as like work goes and different training regiments.
Well, I think first of all, I think that for me, I've always been about the extra work. If somebody says you got to do X amount, I triple it. That's just how I've always been. Well, I think first of all, I think that
He's got a little cockiness to him. Since he's been there, dude.
That was a very lofty statement. I think it might have just been the delivery of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
That
a
was
little
odd.
smirk.
That was really odd the way he portrayed that. And he's like bouncing back and forth in front of the microphone.
But Russell Wilson feeling himself, bro.
He's been on one, bro.
What is that all about, man? What is that all about? I mean,
just
he's
feeling
always
himself.
been kind of a character in front of the camera as far as that goes, and we know like he
I'll be happy
loves
to
all
get
the
out of
attention.
Seattle, too.
Yeah.
I was talking to JT the other day at Edge, and we were talking about Russell Wilson. And he's like, I hate Russell Wilson. I'm like, why? He goes, one, he's a dweeb. And
He is kind of a dweeb.
And two, he took Future's girl. I'm like, bro,
That's awesome.
you're about to be 30 talking about he took Future's girl.
Future's like 40-something.
But I mean, that's like just the most like. He seems like a type of guy that would describe himself as a go-getter. After that type of quote, I'm like, well, tell me about yourself.
Yeah,
Well,
nerd.
I'm a real go-getter. I like to really attack things. Take whatever they tell me to do X and just triple it. Not like my guy Kyler Murray. They got to tell him to get in the film room. I'd probably in there for 12 hours instead of 4.
Yeah, it's like.
Did you see all the college teams that copied his ass?
Yeah, everybody.
West Virginia, you had South Carolina,
Michigan State.
FAU, bro, everybody.
We have our media
Bowling
day.
Green.
Yeah, we have our media day for Northern here coming up potentially next week. We might have to do it with Drake.
What?
For real?
Yeah.
Can I be in it?
No, definitely not.
No, I don't want to do the less route. I just want to be in the media day.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't pull those type of strings. You know that. I don't make the list.
I just want pictures and shit like that. You know,
We're not doing pictures this time, but
damn, what is it? Just videos? Oh yeah, damn, that shit we did last year. Cool.
But yeah, we might have to do. We might have
You're
to do.
definitely gonna be in a tie.
Wildcat Country. Let's ride.
Drake's not gonna do that.
Let's prowl.
Nah.
Wildcat Country.
Nah.
On the prowl.
Give it up.
No.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying over here.
I don't
That's
like
not
it.
That's not
Drake
it
would
at all.
definitely do it. I feel like he has a little weird. sense
Drake
of
would
humor,
like.
dude.
He. Can I just say something about fishing? Okay.
Do the Dak Dance.
Fishing.
All right, I've got a. Oh, here we go. I've got a good one for you guys. I've got a treat for you guys, and this is potentially the dance move, the next dance move sweeping the country. That being the Dak Dance.
God, this is still a thing, dude.
I don't know why it's still a thing, but it popped up on my timeline, and it's too funny not to watch because Dak has actually embraced it. He did this with campers the other week, and this came from obviously from his pregame routine where he's like, flipping his hips open at midfield and running through an imaginary
whatever.
I don't know, fourth quarter drill or something. We don't know what he's doing. This is the Dak Dance.
It's all about the hips, the upper body, and separate the two. Your upper body pulls back, and the hips fight. And simply, there it is. That's how you do it.
That is the Dak Dance right there.
At least he's a good sport about it.
I guess him embracing it, I guess makes it better because he's just taking it on, right? He's just owning it. I don't know. It was funny, dude. What is he doing? Where do you think that really, he was serious about that the first time he did that though, 100%.
Yeah, that's like a real hip warm up.
Yeah.
Because they show quarterbacks doing it before him. That's a real hip warm up.
I've never seen anyone do that but Dak Prescott.
I don't know. You know, Sunday Night Football, they got all the scoops.
Yeah.
So they see him down there doing some weird shit.
Oh, I just thought of this, dude. We were talking about Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
The time, I was like, all right, dude, calm the fuck down.
When he did a whole series.
Yes, bro. Remember that?
He had to taking
just
fake
had
snaps
thumb
and
surgery.
rolling out and
he's out there. Remember?
Wasn't he in a fake huddle too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Rack it down 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, ready on 2. And he goes out there. He's like, watch the blitz. And I'm like, dude, just sit down. What the hell are you doing?
That was wild. That was actually ridiculous.
He's doing a little too much.
He knew there was a camera there too.
Oh, well.
You don't do that type of shit by yourself.
Bro, that's Russell Wilson, bro. Just look at him and tell me he not looking for cameras.
Oh.
I don't care what nobody say.
He's a weirdo.
Another video for you guys. This is
great.
What I wanted to talk about. We didn't talk about Julio Jones going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It seems like they might just reload and have another really good chance to make a run at something. I mean, when you look at their roster, there's no reason why they can't. Julio Jones, this is one of his first balls from Tom Brady as they get going in camp over there. But there really is no reason why.
Damn, what a play.
Yeah, right?
Holy
it's
shit.
an absolutely unreal catch.
They could be scary.
But there's no reason that this team, with the weapons they have,
I don't even. It's gonna be like Tom Brady and Julio already looking scary. I just want to see the caption.
It does say that.
I think it actually
does.
was. Yeah.
This could, come on, bro.
I just guessed they headline for him.
It's so generic,
This could
dude.
be scary.
Bro, it was a 7, not even 7. It's Rouse on air.
Come
He just
on,
mossed
man.
Casper in the back corner of the end zone. How you feel about that? This could be scary.
Hey, me and you are on the no Tom Brady train, right? You don't like Tom, right? Or I shouldn't say you don't like him.
No, I don't care for Tom Brady.
Okay, good.
I don't think he's gonna win another championship though.
Neither did Max Kellerman 5
I
years
saw that.
ago.
Did you see?
But I
you
wouldn't
liked
have-
that
I
on
wouldn't
Twitter.
have bet that.
I seen you
Yeah.
liked it, Ty. That was
He
funny.
Max Kellerman tell him, calm down. You've only won 3 more since then.
That shit was funny as hell.
Well, I don't think he'll win another one though. I just think the AFC is too stacked.
What is funny is that I always forget too, looking at Julio was on the Falcons, the 28-3 Falcons team. Super Bowl?
How do you lose that game?
Julio didn't lose that game at all.
No, he didn't. I'm just saying he was a
balled
part of
out.
that team.
He had that crazy catch, bro. You remember that on the sideline, the toe tap. That shit was crazy, bro. That was one of the best catches I've ever seen.
He described being with Tom Brady as it's just a surreal moment. It's amazing. I'm ready to go, though. At the end of the day, it's all about accountability. I have to be accountable for him, the team, everybody, right? So it's interesting, man. I don't know. Now the people are saying now, though, do the Bucs have the best wide receiver trio in the league? Does that elevate them to the top? They made a rankings the other day. I think it was them and the Bengals. Right?
Who better, Jamar Chase or Mike Evans?
Because it's Chase, it's Boyd, and
tough,
it's
T. Higgins. So
So
who better, Jamar Chase or Mike Evans? We know the answer. Next, T. Higgins or Chris Godwin?
It's pretty similar, dude.
Godwin. I think Godwin.
I would give that to Godwin as well.
I think I'd go
Tyler Boyd or Julio Jones?
Julio.
You're a fool.
Julio did not do much last year. And the toughest thing with Julio is
Julio
that his
not
best,
the same. He's not the same.
His best ability is his availability, and he did not have
I
a
guess
great
you're
amount
right.
of that.
I guess you're right.
You
And
can
Boyd had a good year last year.
He did.
You're right.
But I think that Chris Godwin is much better than T. Higgins, but Boyd is not that much better than Julio.
Yeah.
What about
And
the
when you
Mike Evans,
factor in
Jamar
the-
Chase, though?
Jamar Chase.
See, that's where it kind of gets.
Don't make me mad.
Come on, bro.
Don't.
You
do
can't
that.
tell me Mike Evans is not like up there. Top 5.
He's not.
Tops. Okay.
Davante Adams, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Stephon
Yeah, but
Diggs,
Mike Evans
Tyreek Hill.
is proven, bro. Like he's doing it for. He's been doing it for. He's a 4-time
So I
Pro
just named
Bowler,
6
5-time Pro
people
Bowler.
off the nugget that I'd rather have, or who are better than Mike Evans. Not even who I'd rather have.
I mean, it's all opinionated.
Yeah. He's easily a top 10 wide receiver in the league. But so is Jamar.
He can be top 10.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is top 5.
I think that's fair. Madden might not think so, though.
I mean, I think you go either way.
Madden. I was mad I wasn't here for that episode. Madden ain't gonna give nobody.
Yep.
Like if they have a good year, they're not gonna give nobody a crazy rating anymore because of Peyton Hillis. Peyton Hillis messed it up for everybody.
Who's that?
He was the person who was on the cover of Madden 12. He had like a crazy.
Too young for that shit, bro.
He had a crazy season, and he was like a 90 overall after like 1 year, and he literally
Because he balled out.
he probably didn't gain another 300 yards the rest of his career.
He's hurt.
I think so that bad, huh?
He was just ass.
A little bit of both.
He was
So they had never watch somebody just go ballistic and just throw them a high rating anymore. Like you gotta do it again. Like Justin Jefferson started out this man is like an 86.
Yeah, that's like criminal.
It kind of is.
And he was lights out as
What's Jamar Chase? 87.
87.
Criminal.
Yep. But this is what I wanted to close off the pod on. And this is something that actually this made my day when I was going through the timeline. So we remember DeColdest Crawford. I think there might have been a video or something. He's from Louisiana, I want to say. And, you know, just his name himself made him go viral. Now he's committed to go play at Nebraska in the Big Ten. And DeColdest might have DeColdest NIL Deal YET. He has signed a deal to become the new spokesperson for SOS Heating and Cooling.
Now that's like what NIL is for,
HVAC
dude.
company,
That's
like,
exactly what it's for, dude.
This is awesome. Name, image, and likeness. They're using all of them. Look at that,
That's
dude.
awesome.
He's posing in front of the truck. Like, this isn't some, like, you know, multi-million-dollar deal, but, like, that is just hilarious, dude.
Wasn't he
I
the
love
dude
that.
that was committed to LSU for like 30 seconds and then decommitted?
He might have been.
It wasn't 30.
Not 30 seconds, but you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
a day.
No, he was committed for a long ass time.
To
They
LSU?
fired Orgeron. Yeah.
Oh, for
He
real?
committed in 2019 before reopening his recruitment last December. And then
Oh,
ended up
okay. That's a
committing
different
to
dude
the
then. I don't know
Cornhuskers.
who it
Because
was.
they fired Orgeron.
You know who I'm talking about, though? The guy committed to
He's a
LSU and then like,
Louisiana native.
and
No,
then
I have no idea who you're talking about.
But imagine, like, you need to get some heating and cooling done, and, like, you see a commercial with this dude on here. It's like,
yeah.
the coolest. Like, we're the coldest in Nebraska or
Yeah.
something like that.
And he's running.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Like he's catching balls and scoring touchdowns. Like that's sick.
Yeah.
Why
that'd be
would you not
badass,
want
dude.
that? You know what I
That'd
mean?
be badass. That's what we need more of. We need more of that. We need the,
That's what it's for,
Like
dude,
the Kool-Aid, McQuistion. What was his name? You know what I'm talking about?
Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah.
Kool-Aid McKinstry. He did the Twitter thing with Kool-Aid. We need to see a deal from them.
Okay, my last name King. Go find me a deal.
What, you want Burger King? You want to wear the crown when you score a touchdown?
Oh God, I'll
That
wear
shit would be
crown.
raw, boy. Every touchdown you get a free. Every tagging touchdown, a free
get a
Whopper.
free Whopper. Oh,
That shit would be
put
busted.
the boys out of business.
That shit would be busting,
awesome,
bro.
dude.
Put them boys. They hours gonna be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's it.
They run out of
On Saturdays. That's it. They gonna close before the game even over. This nigga done scored again. Shut the door. Turn off the fryers. It's over.
Turn off the
That's another
They
Friars.
can't never do no shit like
He's
that.
got 4. When's he gonna stop?
Dude, we need Kool-Aid to make a deal. Then when he scores a touchdown, get right up on the microphone.
I'm pretty sure he's a safety.
Oh yeah, he got to deal with Kool-Aid.
Did he?
does officially?
Yeah.
I thought they just did a little Twitter thing where they kind of like, shouted him out.
No, he got to deal with Kool-Aid.
I haven't seen Jack on it though. What are they
We need-
doing? Their
we need,
marketing
like,
guys need to up
You know
their
that guy
game.
named General Booty?
Bro,
The
like
quarterback?
it's not like he got to deal with Wrangler, General Booty.
Does he?
Yeah, but like bro, it's not nothing for real, bro. It's just literally let's just give you some money so we can attach us to
name
you.
to
Yeah, that's all it is. We could. How about Michigan Tech quarterback Steel Fortress?
That's his name.
Yep.
You ain't know that?
That's his name.
STEELE Fortress. I'm not even. we're
A
not even
security agency partnering with Steel Fortress?
Bro, y'all dead ass too.
Oh
I'm
God,
not
bro.
kidding,
Who is
bro.
this? Like the quarterback that play?
No.
No, he's
No.
Will Arch is a quarterback. That
Will
played, I
Arg
think.
was the starter this last year, so
Steel Fortress.
his name is Steel Fortress.
Bro, that is a terrible name.
That's
Why
an
would his
NIL name, though.
Why would his parents do that?
Hey, shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Fortress.
Nah, bro, y'all bogus. Y'all bogus. Y'all had no
Mrs.
business
Fortress.
scoring that young man like that.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going back to the Fortress, Mom.
Could Steel Fortress please report to the office? Who the hell? Steel Fortress. Bro, that is wrong. Y'all couldn't call him like Dave or something? Give him a regular name. Jack. Jack Fortress. Steve.
It's a badass
Or
last
Steel.
name.
That's worse than DeColdest.
You think so?
Steel Fortress? Because DeColdest is just a name. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else behind it.
What is Steel?
Like,
A
no,
name.
like, it's not like his name is DeColdest Ice. Steel Fortress? Steel Fortress. That's like my first name being The.
The King.
King?
Not The. Oh, this is my son, The. What's his last name? King. The King?
It's
What the
funny,
hell?
dude. It's funny. That'd be a good segment for next episode, actually.
Best-
Best potential NIL deals. We're all
That'd be-
gonna bring
yeah.
one to the table
That'd be
next
cool.
next episode. We're all gonna bring one to the table of a great name in college football and who they need to be associated with. The deal can't or have already happened.
Bet. Let's make it happen.
Bet.
That'll be fun. And
Yeah.
the contract one. We got 2 good ideas.
Yeah, we're gonna do them both.
Nice.
It'll be fun. But that's all I have for today, fellas. I also just realized we're at the end of the podcast. We never addressed your fucking foot.
It's all right. Keep it off.
People are gonna be watching and it's in a bucket, and we never said anything about it.
I have I don't know. I rolled my ankle.
He has foot fungus.
Yeah.
We're like
He wears shoes
an
with no
hour into the
socks.
podcast. If anyone makes it this far, they can know that
I
you rolled
kind of
your
forgot
ankle.
about it, honestly. Yeah.
Dude, I just realized like we're sitting here and like your foot hasn't been in the bucket for the entire episode.
There are
We
6
never said
flies
anything
in the
about it.
bucket. I'm
Hey,
looking
we
at
all
it right
good,
now.
though, man. We all good. We're good.
We
man.
go over here, man.
He
The
might
grass
miss
is
training
greener.
camp. He's in.
Got it. Got it.
There's some tweets going out right now. Manzo. It's gonna be a PUP list.
Could be on the pup
Yeah,
list.
he's on the pub list for sure.
Check the pup list. Division 1 rejects. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend. Or today's what? Yeah, have a great weekend. Today's
Yeah,
Thursday. Have a
great
great
one.
weekend.
It is a great weekend.